We're live.
I think we're live.
Welcome to BTD Monday at noon. The world is ending. AWS has fallen apart, and so has all the software in the United States.
AWS has fallen.
Sir, a second streaming platform has fallen.
Yeah, we're live. Wow.
We are live. We're rocking with old school OBS and just YouTube Live. I don't know how we sound.
Yeah, let us know, chat.
Let us know if we need to go louder or quieter.
That's actually hilarious.
We had to go old school today.
Somehow we made it
No
work.
Instagram today, no Twitter. Our normal streaming platform, Restream, is down. The camera is totally wrong.
We're gonna fix it. We're gonna fix it. Oh yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Let's talk ball. Let's talk Game 7.
Game 7.
I don't know.
Actually, I missed. I missed Friday's episode. I missed.
You missed talking about
What happened on Friday?
The
Dodgers clinched. The Dodgers had clinched.
No, they clinched Friday night.
They clinched Friday night.
Yeah, the Ohtani game happened.
The
that
Ohtani
night.
game happened Friday night.
We talked about the Alonso and Bregman rumors from John Heyman.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Like that. Yeah, talked about all the potentials there. Audio's
know.
good, Cody says.
We're good. Okay.
Yeah, I
positive.
can't see like if people are.
We can't even see
watching
like,
right now.
Watching or anything. We are
This is all new.
flying blind.
This is all new. Restream is down.
Yeah, AWS, everything. So y'all talked Bregman, Alonso Friday.
Yeah, and just general free agent roster trade stuff.
Okay. The flu almost killed me. I was like Oregon Trail sick.
You've had the flu, I think, like 3 times this year.
It's not. I don't get sick often, but when I do, it's everything
you're down,
all at once.
you're just down for like 3-4 days, and then you're good.
Dude, fever broke after like 56 hours.
Jesus.
It was tough. As you could tell, I'm super congested still. But how
much Battlefield did you get in there?
Got a lot of Battlefield.
Fever state.
We've got a lot of Battlefield. We got a lot of Battlefield in. The other side.
Allergies this year are bad.
Allergies, yeah, they've been kicking my ass. The Ohtani game. Let's lead off with the Ohtani game.
Yes.
Single-handedly the greatest baseball game in the history of baseball games.
Yes.
Performance-wise.
Yeah, for one single guy. Yeah, beats
anything from
pitching
1905 when Farmer Joe Smith struck out 17 and hit 5 home runs over 200 feet. What Ohtani did is the bar. Also, he is the greatest baseball player we will ever see. Like, I get there's a lot of like hate, especially in our community, of just the whole Astros Dodgers thing. It's almost gonna be it's gonna be twofold. I was thinking about this when y'all were recording Based on Balls podcast. One, when we're older, we're gonna be like, no one's gonna believe us when they said you saw Ohtani play.
Yeah.
No one's gonna believe that.
He's at that level.
2, you're gonna sound even crazier when you say, "Oh, I saw Ohtani on the Angels play."
Yeah.
Because he's only gonna be
Angels jersey is gonna be like
it's gonna
really
be
rare.
like a hidden Aztec artifact like they find.
He played there for 4 years,
and we got to see him a lot.
6 years.
Yeah, and I always took it like I always went to go try to see him play when they were in town because he was a unicorn then. Obviously, he's just gotten better tenfold since then. But it's gonna be like no one's gonna believe you when you say like, "Yeah, I saw Ohtani play like 30 times."
I have pictures I got to take of him in 21 in the on deck circle at then Minute Maid Park. I'm gonna just hold on to those and cherish those because I'll show my grandkids. I took these pictures. I'll show Ohtani and be like, "There's no way that guy wasn't real." It's like Babe Ruth. Think about Babe Ruth. You're like, "There's no way that guy was just like real." Just walking around on the street.
Yeah,
he's the great Bambino. He's still in the SWAT. He's
a
just
ghost.
he's like more of a legend than
And that's Ohtani, and that game and a closeout to pitch the way he pitched and to hit the way he, and also like he was like 2 for 17 going in that game, and by the end of that game with all the home runs, like OPS like almost 1,000.
Yeah.
Like in one
Yeah,
single game.
he raises OPS like 600 points. It feels like. APM says Barry Bonds is the best hitter of all time. Otani is the best player of all time.
I agree.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
I agree with that.
Yeah, I mean it's pretty simple. It's as much as I would love to be an Otani hater and be fuck the Dodgers and he's overrated. There's nothing you can say, man. I mean, the guy's topping out 101, striking out 10,
Hitting 3 tanks.
and then hitting not just 3 tanks, not like wall scrapers. He
like-
won out of it.
Out of Dodger Stadium.
If all he did that entire game was hit a home run out of Dodger Stadium, it still would have been a big deal. Because remember when Giancarlo hit one at Dodger Stadium a few years ago, and people still talk about that? That was just a footnote of part of like a bigger game. He hit 3 home runs over like 112 off the bat. I mean, everybody talks about him, so I don't want to sit here and just glaze him for an hour. But like, incredible. I'm still annoyed Otani won an ALCS MVP for having one good game. But that's how it goes, though. If you have a great game in a clincher, it's pretty much always going to be MVP, unless some other guy was the clear favorite before that. But there wasn't. It's not one guy on the Dodgers was going to be the guy before him.
Yeah.
It was more of a team effort all around, so it was up for anybody. That's what I say for the Blue Jays. It's probably Vladdy. It's probably Vladdy.
But anything
if like
happens
George
in Game
Springer
7,
hits like a go-ahead home run tonight or something, it's going to be George. Or even if Ernie Clement hits like a go-ahead 2-run home run tonight or something.
Bieber goes 6 or 7.
Yeah,
or the other way where Kirby goes 6 or 7.
It's anything in the clinching game. If you help your team win the series, you're probably going to win MVP.
Also, let's jump into Game 7. The 2 greatest words in human history. Game 7.
Best 2 words, yeah.
I need Toronto to win. I don't have any action on it, but I need Toronto to win because I don't know. I quote tweeted that dickhead guy in Seattle that was chirping George. He said like if anyone gets hit, like when George Springer got hit in the knee.
Yeah.
Also, that ball registered 55 miles an hour off his knee, like a ball in play.
His knee? Oh,
so the ball hits him in the knee, goes into the field of play.
Yeah.
It was registered on Savant at 55 miles an hour, like.
It was ugly, man.
The exit velocity.
I only saw it once, and I did not want to see it again.
So I quote tweeted that, and I said Jays in 7. There's like 1,000 favorites and like 150 bookmarks, and so many Seattle fans chirping after a 3-2 win.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, the series. Like,
you got to win 4.
You got to win one more.
You got to win 4 in baseball.
You got to win one more.
As Astros fans?
Yeah.
We've been there.
Yeah.
We've been there. We've been there going on up 3-2.
I muted it, and then I looked, and I was like, there's 70 replies. I was like, I don't even want to jump into that, but I will. If the Jays do win tonight, we'll hit that unmute button. We'll start sifting through that. But it's interesting because you have it's almost 2 teams that I think they are the best teams in the American League in 2025, and they're kind of got there in different ways, and it's kind of cool to see trades being made that are hitting. So like Seattle's for Seattle's sake, I actually like them as a ball club. I don't like their fans. I like them as a ball club. I obviously loved Griffey, Randy, Ichiro,
aggressive deadline, yeah.
And they finally did it. They finally made the move. They finally went to after years of always trading out of contracts and trying to be too smart, that they actually were like, hey, let's go get Eugenio. Let's go get Naylor, guys that are actually going to be free agents to be. It's like the complete opposite of what they've done and shown, and it's paying off. And those guys are the reason why there is a Game 7 and the reason why they've won 3 games. And Josh Naylor looks amazing at the plate. Suarez looks amazing at the plate. Not so good on the field, but like that's what you want to see. And then the other side, your Game 7 starter for the Blue Jays is a trade you made, Shane Bieber. Like a quiet, under the radar move. It was a high risk because you didn't know how it was coming off.
I saw people mad on both sides. I saw Cleveland fans mad that they traded Bieber. I saw other people in baseball and Toronto fans mad, like, oh, we gave up a big prospect.
Yeah.
And I was like, I think I said it on a late season pod. I was like, that might be sneaky, one of the best moves of the deadline. And if he shows out tonight and helps them win a Game 7, it might be the best move of the deadline.
For sure. Shout out to Alberto with the super chat.
Super chat.
Thank you for that. Blue Jays are going to do what the 23 Astros couldn't do, win the last 2 games at
And the 2019 Astros.
I love the graphic.
Too many
I
times.
love the graphic that Fox keeps putting up of like home teams against Game 7 is like whatever it is. It was like those stats are flawed because the Astros tripped over
The
their
Astros
kick.
are like 2 of the
Yeah.
7 or whatever, however many it is. Greatest words for who? Game 7 is the greatest words in sports.
Maybe not for Astros fans, but
yeah, we've won a couple.
yeah,
We won a few.
Yeah, we've been
The loss, you remember losses, I feel like more, especially non-World Series, but like Game 7, 2017. 2017 was 2 Game 7s in a row. You think about that, you're like, that was a slog. Compared to 22, 22 was a cakewalk. You think back, thinking back on that, how did we survive that? We went through 2 Game 7s in your 2 7-game series you played, and you won.
I think it was just being because you weren't in it. You were never in it, so you don't know what to expect.
Yeah.
Like I was at Game 6, the Verlander ALCS start, and I was petrified. Like coming back to Houston,
That's
down
what Toronto's-
3-2.
Yeah, Toronto's trying to do the same
trying to do
exact
the same.
thing. Yeah.
And the Verlander start, I left Minute Maid Park, and I was like, "We're gonna go to the World Series." I don't care what happens in Game 7. I left the park after Game 6 after that performance. I was like, "There's no way this team can lose."
Yeah.
And then fast forward to the World Series, when we lost Game 6, before Game 7, because we watched at home plate, rest in peace, one of the best bars. Excuse me. We started at home plate and then ended up at HTX Tavern. That's where we watched Game 7. Both of them, rest in peace, right outside Minute Maid Park. I was like, we're going to win the World Series. Like, after losing Game 6, and I was like, there's no way we're going to lose. And then we got on Darvish
It did
immediately.
Feel, yeah,
and
it
I
did
just
feel like that.
now 2019,
Yeah.
21, 22, like all the other years I was
We were real
stressed up.
young and dumb
Yeah,
there.
young and dumb.
Because 2019 is where we really learned the lesson of like, I think I tweeted it, or I remember talking to people in 2019, like my coworkers when I worked at CVS, shout out. My coworkers who don't know ball as much. I was living in Illinois at the time, and they were like, "Are the Astros gonna be able to win?" And I was like, "Oh yeah, dude." They took care of business they needed to in Washington. They're going back to Houston. You got Garrett Cole and Justin Verlander. Or no, it was Garrett Cole and Greinke.
Garrett Cole Greinke.
Cole
No.
was Game 6 or JV was Game 6?
JV was Game 6.
JV
Game
Justin
6.
Verlander and Zach Greinke Game 6. I was like, if we don't win Game 6, we got Game 7.
I didn't. Yeah. Well, I was the opposite. I was like, I do not like Patrick Corbin throwing Game 7. I don't want to talk about
I don't want to talk about it.
I don't want to talk about
Why are you talking
I
about
don't
it?
talk about tonight's Game 7.
Otani be doing witchcraft.
All right. 3, 2, 1. Who wins?
Toronto.
Wow. Score.
5-3.
MVP.
George Springer.
Wow.
I think Kirk Gibson hits a huge go ahead like double or something, a go ahead home run, and takes it.
I think tonight's actually going to kind of be a shootout. I think Toronto's shown all their cards. They keep going to the same arms. That's going to bite them in the butt. If not tonight in the World Series, if they make it. And I think Seattle's been very risk adverse. They pulled Miller on a short rest. They pulled Castillo on a short count, and they've shown their cards. Granted, I would take probably Munoz over anyone tonight on either side. So if it gets to Munoz's hands, the game is over. But it's going to be interesting to see how both managers kind of navigate the heightened sea of Game 7, because last night the Mariners looked pressed. The Mariners actually looked like the team that was down 3-2 and not up 3-2. So being even, does that free them up? Like, hey, I mean, we got one game to go to the World Series. Does that free them up? They play looser? Or does it shift to all the pressures on Toronto to win at home a Game 7? So it's going to be really interesting to see that early dynamic of the first few innings, because we've all seen it. We've all been there. The first few innings are kind of, and like in a prize fight where both fighters are just kind of filling each other out. They're just throwing jabs, not really throwing haymakers. They're just
Yeah.
if there's a run, they're going to try to generate a run somehow. But I want to see how those managers start acting when there's pressure applied, because last night, I mean, Savage looked great, and then in the sixth they kind of got to him a bit, quick hook. I wanted to my own horn.
Okay.
I put it in Swaddle.
Yeah, you did.
Game 5 in
Yep.
Seattle.
Yep.
During a fever, the fever was at 101, 102. I texted. I said they were warming up a little.
Yeah.
In a game where Toronto was up, and I said going to Little right here would be crazy. I said insane. It would be insane because when he pitched in Game 1, completely melted down. The moment was too big. You could tell the moment was too big. And I said if they go to Little, this game is over. Seattle's gonna win. And sure enough, they went to Little. The moment was too big. If they go to Little tonight,
Yeah.
if they go to Little for a third time, that is crazy. Because you don't have to be a baseball savant to see that moment was too big for that kid. And they keep going to him. And there may be a revolt if they go to Little tonight.
I was just saying earlier on a different pod. If they go to Little, it's over. But if they stay away from him, I think they can make it work. I have some interesting stats for you. I was just looking through the history. Since 2017, there's been 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 Game 7s in baseball. Since 2017.
In the playoffs?
In the playoffs. There's been 9 Game 7s total. The Astros have been in 1, 2, 3,
19.
4, 5. They've been 5 of the past 9 Game 7s.
And we're
And they're 2 and 3.
That's fine, yeah.
Yeah. I just thought that was crazy. There hasn't been a Game 7 since 23. Both the NLCS and ALCS went to Game 7 in 23. And then before that, it was 2020. So Game 7s have become a little bit rare. Before that, it was a little more common. But it just goes to show how fun a Game 7 is. So exciting.
Game 7 when your team's not in it's amazing.
Yes, yeah, definitely more so when your team's not in it.
Also, like, as a Seattle fan, you have Game 7 and you have Monday Night Football.
I know. I'm kind of hoping Seattle takes 2 L's on the Monday night. It'd be like 2019 Houston when the Astros lost and the Texans blew that lead to the Chiefs. Obviously, not the same time, not the same month, but like it was a hell of a year for Houston. And I'll take it.
Hey, sometimes you got to get the demons out. You got to get the demons
Look,
out.
Seattle had a good run. They had their moment. They had fun. Game 5 outside the stadium celebrating. They had their moment. They've made it to the big boy dance. We can no longer shit on them for not winning a playoff game in 20 years. Like, they did it. They're here.
Okay, no.
But
if they lose,
that's all they want. That's all I want them to taste.
If they lose tonight, the only thing they get to hang this year is a AL West banner. That's the only thing they can hang.
Yeah. Yeah, we beat the Tigers in a 5-game series. We beat Terry School, I guess.
Yeah.
It's their banner.
Like, it's pennant or nothing. It's
at the very least you gotta make a World Series.
Do you think Kevin Gossman pitches tonight?
At all?
I have Gossman in the pin.
I think so. I think both teams have everybody except for the starters from yesterday available in the pin. And maybe Brian Woo's probably not, just because of his injury thing.
I think Woo's available.
I don't know. I think he would be if he was fully healthy.
Game 5? Who started Game 5? Who threw after Scherzer? Was it Gossman? Was it Gossman?
Game 5 was
Gossman Castillo.
Let me see. It was it's loading right now. Sorry. Gossman, Varlin, and then Little blew it. For the Mariners, it was Miller for 4, and then Brash came in, and then Woo for 2.
Yeah, they got bailed out on that.
I think pretty much everybody's available.
How many pitches did Gossman throw?
in Game 4.
No, he would have thrown Game 5. Scherzer had Game 4.
No, Game 5 was. That's what I was saying. Game 5 was. Oh yeah, Gossman. Yeah, you're
Yeah, he was only like
Um,
78 pitches, I think.
91.
Okay, maybe he may not.
I think he's available. I think pretty much everybody's available except for yesterday's starters. Just like Garrett Cole was available Game 7, 2019. Sorry. I refuse to credit Seattle. Sure, they're a good team. That's fair. That's fair.
It's gonna be interesting. All I know is they shouldn't pitch to Vladdy. He's been worth every cent of that $500 million. That home run last night was cool as hell. That was just a spinner in the zone that he absolutely.
Yeah, it was like
That was off the end of the bat,
weakest
too.
hit home run he's
Yeah.
had, and it was still a tank job.
One thing
barely got it.
the one thing you sent this morning or last night, the camera operator,
Incredible
shot.
incredible work, incredible wherewithal from both the cameraman and Vladdy to like in that moment.
Oh, in the moment.
In the moment, wait till the camera got on him.
Oh,
He knows ball. He knows how to go viral. He
Yeah.
knows how to talk to the camera.
Jets. There's no way they throw you Savage tonight. He just threw yesterday.
Yeah,
There's no way. He was filthy though. Shout out to the kid. Rookie start, must win,
yeah.
extend the series.
No, he did his job.
Did his job.
Yeah, like I said, pretty much everybody's available except for whoever started yesterday, which was you Savage and
I mean, you got to think that
Gilbert.
Seattle feels like they are confident in tonight with Kirby on the mound. Let's see.
you would think so. I mean, he had one good start and one bad start, right?
He's just. I'm a Kirby stan, dude.
Yeah, but I mean, he's gotten kind of lit up. No, he only faced he only started once this series. Went 4 innings, allowed 8 earned runs. So Toronto has him.
Toronto is a minus 145.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, hold on. No. This can't be right.
Derek Jeter told you Savage if he wants a ring, he should have his cleats on tomorrow. There's no way they throw. They don't.
Why is Bovada a game behind?
Yeah, Savage isn't like their ace or something that needs to go 2 days in a row. Like they have other good pitchers that should be available.
Yeah, if you're throwing you Savage tonight, something has terribly gone wrong.
Yeah. I mean, unless you're going like 13 innings, then sure, that's when you got to bring somebody
see.
else in. They should have enough pitching between, between Bieber should be able to give you 4 or 5 minimum. Hopefully, if he's not, then you're probably losing anyways. And then maybe Gossman comes in for an inning or two if you need to.
All right, so it's
It's going to be on the offense.
Mariners are a minus 116 favorite. A road
Wait, what?
favorite.
I thought Toronto was favored.
Toronto's a minus 105 dog.
Oh.
Excuse me. That's the over-under. This is weird. Okay. Toronto is minus 132 on the money line.
Okay.
Mariners are plus 108.
Okay, I thought so.
Yeah.
Because I thought I saw it earlier. But that's still, I think earlier it was more skewed on flip.
Over 7.5.
I would probably take that.
Kind of like the over.
I kind of would probably take that.
Like the over.
If you're very few pitchers I trust in that bullpen. Yeah, I agree. I don't really trust. Varland is probably the main guy I trust.
They've used them. They've shown.
They've used
Toronto's
them a lot.
shown all their cards.
I mean, let's be real. Let's be just totally brutally honest for a second. Either of these teams getting their ass beat by the Dodgers. They're playing a full Game 7. The Dodgers are going to be sitting for like a week.
Yeah.
They're going to go in there fully healthy.
Yeah.
They have a like full gauntlet of starting. Like, as much as I hope that one of these teams can take the Dodgers to a full series and at least make it close.
At least make them go 6.
I would
Make 'em
hope so.
Travel.
I would hope so. But I think it's going to be very Astros 21 versus the Braves, where like it's not really close. Like, they might make it. They might bring it to Game 6, but like
You're one Kirkering throw away from not even. Gosh.
the Phillies were definitely the Dodgers' best competition, I'd say.
Yeah.
Just no other team. None of these other teams.
The Reds was a walkthrough. Phillies pushed them a bit, but even then,
They only won one.
The Phillies won one game, and they couldn't clutch up at home.
The Dodgers are 9-1. this postseason.
God,
It's just like none of these other
they
teams
haven't sweat.
have what?
Their only sweat was a game where a pitcher threw it away.
Yeah,
That's the
it
only
wasn't a
game they
sweat
sweat.
at all. Yeah, no, I mean, the Phillies had a couple close games, but none of these other teams have had a starting rotation like the Dodgers have. Now, both of these teams do have starting rotations, but going a full 7 games, like they're not going to be as. I think either of these teams, if they have swept the other team, I would give them a better chance against the Dodgers, having a fully rest starting rotation and bullpen. But I don't know. Which one of these teams do you think gives the Dodgers a tougher time?
Seattle.
I think so.
I think Toronto.
I think
Toronto wants to bang and say we can match you with 7-8 runs.
Yeah.
Seattle's like, hey, we'll play this 2-1 ball game and we'll flip a coin.
We saw what happened when the Phillies had their good pitchers go. They made it tough.
Yeah.
I mean, Sanchez was incredible against them.
Yeah.
So was Luzardo. He was pretty good against them as well. So I mean, that's how the only way to beat the Dodgers is good starting pitching, and getting a lead late, keeping it. But if the Dodgers have a lead on you,
Good luck.
yeah, good luck.
Good luck.
LA's bullpen isn't that great.
Yeah, but they're doing the Rangers thing.
Yeah, the thing is,
like,
I
our
was saying,
bullpen sucks. We're not going to pitch them at all.
I was saying before the postseason that the Dodgers aren't going to win because their bullpen is bad. They said, okay, let us fix that. We're just going to throw Glasnow and Sasaki out of the bullpen and fix all their issues. That immediately fixed any of their issues.
Yeah, I mean,
they don't have to rely on Blake Trinan anymore.
Yeah, like they're going. The only 3 bullpen arms they're using is Vesa, my boy Bonda, and then they'll throw Trinan and
Yeah,
try to get the 3
they're
out.
using.
They're
their,
usually up 5 runs at that point.
Exactly. They're using their high leverage guys in the 7th, 8th, and then they have
And also like
Sasaki or whoever.
Snell, Glasnow, Otani, and Yamamoto are going 7+.
Yeah,
like
it helps.
and that. So I don't know.
They have a few weak spots, but they're beating their strengths are putting them up so high that the weak spots aren't even shown yet.
It's kind of crazy that all of baseball Twitter, the entire world was, how are you giving this 10-year, $700 million contract out? Right, that's what it was, $700 million.
Something like that, yeah. I was not. I'll say that.
No, the argument was, they have to win at least 5 World Series with that contract. Well, they're about to be 2 for 2 essentially.
They've already made the money back. Did you see?
I saw that.
According to sources, they've already made the money back on merch and jerseys and endorsements or whatever. Like that was always coming. That's why I was like, when Otani was a free agent, I was like, anybody that goes and gets Otani is gonna make their money back. They could pay him as much as they want to pay him, and he could have made $1 billion and they still would have made their money back getting Otani.
Yeah. Any CFO or CMO that was against, like, in any ownership group that was like, guys, we cannot do this, should be fired.
Absolutely. 10 years, $700 million.
Yeah. It's.
I mean, anytime you have a player.
That's why there's a fall guy for him. That's why there's a fall guy.
But anytime you have a player that's like, well, one, that good, but two, especially like a foreign guy that has his whole country backing him and spending money on his merch and stuff, it makes it a lot easier to make your money back on a deal like that. Cinema would be if the Jays win today and win the World Series against the Dodgers. I literally forget the Astros didn't make the playoffs. Yes,
I will buy I'm buying it.
I want to buy.
I'm buying a Springer jersey. I'm buying a Straw jersey. I'm buying a Lucafito jersey.
I would buy a baby blue Springer jersey.
I'll buy a Kikuchi throwback jersey. Oh, you know what? If the Blue Jays could somehow win the pennant tonight and then somehow beat the Dodgers, I will personally pin a letter to James Click saying, "I'm sorry, you were right."
Okay,
that's just me setting everything aside.
I'm sorry, you were right.
I'm sorry, you were right.
LA is as much of a dynasty as the Astros were this side of the millennium. Houston has 2 titles. LA has 1. Don't count 2020 either. Yeah, I mean, between the Dodgers have been in the World Series 2017, 2018, 2020, 2024, and 25. So they matched the Astros this season because the
Plus
Astros 2017,
19,
19,
21,
21,
22.
22.
They have one more.
Oh, so
I mean,
they passed the Astros this year.
2020 is like doesn't count though.
Yeah, and we were one game away twice.
So,
but yeah, I mean, it's basically the Astros and Dodgers are the two teams since
they're the
since
two teams of
2015.
the 2010s and 20s.
Yeah,
Like, I mean, they're the two teams post San Fran, Kansas City. Like San Fran, Kansas City had like the 2010 to 2015 range. They were intertwined.
They were literally they were all of them.
And then
basically.
2015 to 2025 is Astros Dodgers. You know the scene where Batman and the Joker are up at the very end, and the Joker's like, "You complete me," like.
Which one?
The second one, The Dark Knight.
Oh yeah.
And they're like, we can't quit each other.
Yeah,
We're meant to be. Whatever side you're on, if you're an Astros fan, you're Batman. You know, if you're a Dodgers fan, you're Batman. The others, the Joker. They're just intertwined forever.
I just hope it's leading to just next year.
Next year, I need an Astros.
One final to end the full era before the lockout. One final Astros Dodgers World Series
for everything.
Does that be 2017 to 2026? A full 10 seasons.
And I hope both owners just go, look, we're all in. You throw your pennants and your championships. We'll throw our pennants and our championships. We play this one series, all for one.
That'd be really cool.
That'd be sick.
If they made it like a bigger deal.
You're like, that would be sick.
You see both owners like at a poker table just before the series. It's like a televised event. You're like, all right.
This World Series.
2015 wild card. I'll raise you.
It would be 11. It would be 11 pennants and potentially 5 commissioner's trophies playing for another commissioner's trophy.
That would be kind of crazy if you could
the winner takes 11 pennants. And they would acquire 6 commissioner trophies.
All of a sudden, that 2020 World Series would be real to me.
Yeah, it would.
It would count to me.
You want to make baseball fun?
Yeah.
Before a lockout? Because you know what happens when a lockout happens?
Sponsored by FanDuel.
Sponsored by Use code MEGA World Series for... Actually, presented by Underdog.
Yeah, presented by Underdog.
Presented by Underdog.
Taking higher for World Series
commissioner trophies. Use code DIAMOND. No, code BEYOND.
Code BEYOND.
Use code BEYOND for $100 promo funds. I do think the Astros can learn, and this is also the thing that's going to frustrate me, because I think we're going to hear this throughout the offseason. If Seattle wins tonight, I don't want to write off Seattle because I think Seattle could actually win tonight's ball game. I could see Seattle just coming out on fire and taking the air out of the Rogers Center, but I guarantee you're going to hear it from ownership. You're going to hear it from Skip. You're going to hear it from the GM and his crew that, oh, we played those guys really hard. We were right there. And if I hear that, my expectations for the 26th season go out the window.
Really?
Because it's a loser fucking mentality.
Yeah.
Anytime someone says, oh, but we play those guys really close or we play those guys really tight, it's a loser mentality.
That's fair.
And I fear that's what the sentiment's going to be.
That's fair. I hope it isn't, but yeah, I see what you're saying. I just want to be there, man. I just want to get back into it. I want
to feel that energy.
The stadium down the road should be rocking this entire month, and it's been a ghost town. I walked past it a few times. I've driven past the stadium, and it's just like it's all dead right now, and it should be rocking.
Everything has just been, I don't know, tough times.
I'm glad we were able to go live today.
Yeah, this. You guys should see this behind the scenes stuff. Drops is running around with his head cut off. With the AWS cloud outage, we couldn't go through our normal stuff, so we had to go through OBS, which gave me PTSD because Josh yelled at me for a year during the pandemic to try to get it set up, and I
have you tried to add the source yet? Have you added the source?
Yeah.
Have you
FaceTiming me during a pandemic?
Trying to remove the source and add it again?
Unplugging things, plugging things back in. But we got it up and running, so thanks for everyone tuning in. It's very weird on our end, not seeing much on the back end, so we do see chat, so thank you for joining along. Also, sorry I sound like shit. I'm on day 4 of my Z-Pack from Mexico, so We're getting
That's right.
back. We're getting back.
Sorry. Yeah, you got the Mexican medicine
So
in you.
maybe cocaine. I may fail a drug test.
Yeah, and then we'll be continue to go live. Hopefully everything's fixed by Wednesday. We can go
Yeah.
live normally
Well, so game 1 of the World Series is Friday?
Friday. A whole week between.
Huh. So do we know like who's? Because I know it's not ALNL anymore.
Actually, I
All-Star.
think it's
like who. Chad, do
don't-
you know who wins game? Who has game 1 and who has, depending on Seattle Blue Jays?
I think it is. If Toronto wins, they are the home team.
Is it record?
I think so. Right here it says either Seattle is the visiting team. Yeah. If Seattle goes, Dodgers have home field advantage. If Toronto goes, Toronto has home field advantage. Blue Jays have the best record left. Yeah. So best chance might be Toronto making it and having home field advantage against the Dodgers and having the Dodgers have to win up in Canada. That's gonna be hell of a flight for the Dodgers and for the Blue Jays going back and forth. I'm excited though. I'm honestly like ready for the I'm excited for the World Series, but I'm ready to be passed so we can really start getting into free agent conversation and talks.
Yeah, this is interesting. Talking about that. This is from Alex Spear from the Boston Globe. According to Alex Spear, here are some of the starting pitchers who could be available via trade this offseason. Skubal, Joe Ryan, Sandy Alcantara, Hunter Green, Mackenzie Gore, Sonny Gray.
Yes. Yes, please.
Yeah.
Honestly, any one of those guys
Anyone.
I would be happy with. Yeah, Otani might hit a ball 500 feet into Rogers Center. It flies there.
Otani being a felon, can he play internationally?
Oh, that might be the move for Toronto, getting the whole country to ban him. So he can't play those games. He can only play 3 games in the series.
That'd
be so
he's
funny.
Like the coolest guy ever too.
Yeah, I know. But like, imagine the Prime Minister of Canada like bars his entry. That is kind of a crazy leg up.
That'd be kind of awesome.
Oh, everybody would hate them
I
forever.
would hate them forever.
And Major League Baseball would probably sue them. It would be an entire thing. But I'm excited for it. I'm really excited for free agency. I'm excited for us to get into our free agency breakdowns and stuff.
Yeah.
We'll have recorded episodes breaking all that down.
I don't know. If it wasn't for all the injuries this year, my expectations was always this is the year before the year. In 26, I was going to be gung ho. The Astros are going 90 plus games. They're going to be competing for a top 1-2 seed. I'm just in the back of my mind. I'm thinking, okay, Dana Brown and Joe Espada know equivalently that their seats are red hot.
Mm-hmm.
Because I could come out and say on this because look, no one's really watching. It's on the internet. We're not on all major platforms. If you're here, you're here. That their jobs are very much up in the air. Their jobs are very much in question for a good week. And this was I will say this, a week after the press conference. All the way up to the news of when Tags broke it that they're coming back. It was very much up in the air. And I know that from very, very high levels. If I know that, they obviously know that their jobs are this is the year.
Yeah.
So I think we're going to see them operate with a little bit more urgency, a little bit less. Let's let the culture, let's let the history of the Houston Astros carry you to what it's going to be. Because that's very Yankee-like. When we start zooming out as we're continuing to lose, oh, the Astros way in the playoffs. The Astros do
Yeah, standing pat, not making any moves.
It's
yeah.
very Yankees pinstripes. The Yankees are going to carry away. You have to change that narrative into being the hunter again, because the Astros for the longest time over the last back end of the golden age, they became the hunted, right? Everyone's chasing them down.
Yeah. Yeah, target on their back.
I would like to see the industry flip in the sense of becoming the hunter, making moves that way. The other side too, and I'm still trying to get Dana on the show. I don't know if we ever will, but the one questions I would ask Dana if I had like a clear like no state sponsored media like review questions, I would ask him like, Dana, going into this year, your contract has not been extended, so this is the last year of your contract. Now, I would never use the term hot seat. I would ask him, how do you manage, how do you juggle being a general manager in the now and the present to make sure you get that next contract, and also to win, because you have to win this year. So the question is, how do you manage expectations for this year and also manage your future of the health of your organization without throwing the baby out with the bathwater? How do you manage that? And I would like to see what his reaction is and what his comments would be, because I think we all know Dana speaks very openly and candidly. So I would ask him that. I'd be like, how do you manage that? You don't have a contract extension. This is
I wonder how
like,
honest he would be about that.
Yeah, how do you? And maybe it's a confidence thing where he's just like, I have total confidence in myself, the guys, the team, the organization, what we're building, that we are going to win at a level where I don't have to worry about that and I can still operate that way. But the human element side too is like, I gotta win now. Like, I have to show. It's like you're almost on. I know we talked about it before, chat, with the PIP, the PIF, like when you're in corporate America when they put you on a performance plan,
performance indicator.
Yeah, they put you on one of those. Like, it's kind of what you're on. Like, you have to show that you're a playoff team next year, and not just your playoff team win. You can't go in the wild card and be out. Like, that's almost worse. You get in the playoffs and you fold early.
I mean, I would think that Dana's shown a pretty good, similar to Click. I mean, Click is getting interviews now, but like, I think Dana's shown enough that he could maybe get a job somewhere. But you never know. This could be your shot at being a GM of a baseball team in your whole entire career. Like, this isn't him just playing for, working for this job. If he loses his job, he might not get another chance to be a GM anywhere.
Yeah.
And so, like, it's your whole career on the line. And that's where you have to balance and say, fuck it, maybe we will just go get Nolan Arenado.
Stop. I will quit the Houston Astros. I will quit the Houston Astros.
Oh, you like throwing that in there? He's got to know where he's living in 2027. Yeah. Scriptwriter is about to cook up a L.A. Houston before work stoppage. Yeah, that would be incredible. Who is in that scenario? Who's the world rooting for?
L.A.
You think so?
100%.
I mean, the baseball knowers.
L.A.
You think so? After all this, them going for 3 in a row.
Okay,
I'm assuming
I think
with the whole all the money they spend, like they're the big bad empire in that. It's obviously the Orange team bad, but like they're the big bad empire now.
Actually, I almost want that's what's it called? Schrodinger?
Schrodinger's cat.
That's Schrodinger's cat right there for MLB Twitter.
Yeah.
Like, you have to make a decision.
Oh no, you're thinking Sophie's Choice.
Sophie's Choice. Yeah,
Sophie's
Choice. Yeah,
I was like, no, yeah, Sophie's Choice. Yeah,
yeah.
I mean, it was similar to last year, Dodgers Yankees. I didn't.
I was rooting for the asteroid.
Yeah, but I feel like at this point, more regular baseball fans still kind of hate the Astros more than they hate the Yankees, which is totally opposite for me.
Yeah.
Not even just as an Astros fan, but like the whole 27 rings and those fans and how they act and everything.
Run it back. Give me Astros, Yankees, ALCS next year.
Shore Bombs.
Astros, Dodgers, World Series, Fall Classic.
Shore Bombs give him Seawalks 30 and add 10. I don't think you can just take a contract from one player and give them to the other. But I would love him on this team.
I just.
Oh, Houston winning would be like the Eagles winning the Super Bowl over KC.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good comparison.
That's a great one.
Yeah, because some people don't really like the Eagles, but like,
yeah, really, yeah,
hate the Chiefs more. That's for sure. Anytime I hear Des say German, he gets it wrong.
I'm pretty much 0 for 5 on any German historical reference.
Yeah.
And not on the good side of either of any of those.
Well, with Germany, it's tough to be on the good side.
And somehow I keep being wrong on the pop culture side. It's not good for the brand.
Wow, we're almost coming up on time. Thank you for everybody hanging out with us today. Kind of a chaotic Monday
It was chaotic.
live stream.
I can't
Kind
even
of figuring out
breathe.
this whole thing in the last 10 minutes.
Yeah, kudos to you, dude, getting that together. I didn't think we were gonna.
Well, you had the good idea saying try just going straight to YouTube. I'm sure people on it, our Instagram followers are missing us today. Normal people that tune in over there, they're like, where the hell are you? It's not our fault. The entire cloud went down, AWS. But hopefully everything's good for Wednesday. I'm excited for free agency. I'm excited. Astros. Oh, we talked about that to end it out. The Astros did make a pickup already.
I love that pick.
I really love that pick. People are like planning on it.
He's a
And
dog.
how many times does it need to happen? How many times do the Astros need to go pick up a pitcher that's
Or Dana Brown.
Yeah, Dana Brown. Like go
He's
pick up
good
a
at
pitcher that struggled recently, and everybody goes, "Oh man, this guy sucks. Look at his stuff. Like, oh, look at this. He sucks." Like I saw so many comments like, "Oh, this guy sucks." He had a 9.20 ERA last year. Of course he sucked, but 5.17 career. He has a 5.17 career ERA, but he throws 100. And
There's two things you have to look at as Savant Page.
Stuff the Astros can fix there.
He's a 93 percentile fastball velo and 85% percentile in extension.
I'm telling you, there's something there. I'm gonna do a deep dive into his like pitch usage.
Look at his 21. His 21 year was really good. 23 year was bad.
Yeah.
This is
Look
where
at
I'm at.
his curveball. No, not his curveball.
This is where I'm at. Dana Brown deserves. Anytime there's a pitcher sign on a 1-year deal, they do a one-off trade. Any of those stuff,
Yeah.
you, Dana Brown, you have shown that you get the benefit of the doubt
Oh, absolutely.
1,000 times out of 1,000 times. Fans need to realize this. You're the same person that probably goes to like a automobile junkyard and you see like a piece of trash staying,
Mm-hmm.
and Dan Brown's like, "Give me about 6 months with that bad boy.
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna have that son gun on Crawford Street purring."
I mean, that's the.
Purring.
I think that's the perfect combination for a winning baseball team in 2025, 26, like the 2020s, is having a bit of a budget to where you can spend, but on the other side, having the know-how and analytics team that can find diamonds in the rough like that. I think that's the perfect combination. I hate the Dodgers and the fact that we don't really do that. They just go grab whoever.
Oh,
They just spend the money.
yes and no. Counterpoint. I could say this truthfully. My good friend Anthony Bonda was out of the league, on his way out. They signed him, and he's now gonna potentially win. He has 2 pennants, a World Series, and maybe a second one. Like in being a guy they used.
But he's an outlier for them. That's not something
Yeah,
they
but-
do that often. They usually,
But they could do it when they do it. They excel at it.
yeah, pretty decently. But I do think they often take in pitchers and make them worse as well. Like Blake Trinan, Tanner Scott. Like how many bullpen
Yeah.
arms do they bring in
I haven't even
that
thrown Scott
get
this
worse?
off. Yeah, they haven't even thrown him.
No, I mean he got hurt.
Yeah.
But like there's that side of it, and then there's like the A's and Rays or whatever who are have good pitching, or not A's specifically, but Rays have a great pitching lab, but they won't go spend on free agents to make the whole team good. But looking at Nate Pearson, by the way, I know exactly what they're going to do already. Mark this right now, October 20th, 2025.
All right.
We'll be
I'm
talking about
smiling
it.
for the clip.
We'll be talking about it next year. In 2020, 2021, he messed around a little bit with a changeup. Very little bit. Like he only threw it a handful of times. It never really got hit. I don't know why he didn't keep throwing it, because he hasn't allowed a hit on it in his entire career. And then he threw what's registered as a split finger one time in 2024. He didn't throw anything like that in 25. He was basically a 2-pitch pitcher. He threw a slider and a 4-seam, and it got crushed. He threw a curveball a little bit. The curveball had a 500 batting average against, but a 177 expected batting average. All of his expected stats are way lower than his actual stats. I guarantee you they develop a changeup with him, and he comes out and he is fucking nasty. He's going to have 100 with a changeup that breaks off of that, and he's going to be nasty. Marking it right now. Promise you.
I think he plays. I mean, always have to like, my judgment gets clouded because like Nate Pearson had a sick 21 MLB The Show card.
Yeah.
And like I pitched lights out with it, so like then I get always like, oh, this guy's nasty, and like.
Did you have a changeup in that?
Probably, and just he threw like 104 outlier on the game, so it was just cheese dots. But I love his stuff. I mean, a former top prospect, top 100 guy. Like,
yeah, I mean,
there's barrels.
Just looking at his stuff, like his last year on his four seamer, he gave up a 342 batting average. Not great, not good at all. But he gave up a 277 expected batting average. Same with the slugging. His expected is continually lower than his actual. So there's some bad luck in there. There's some bad pitch sequencing. And I think he has a changeup into that, to where he has the four seam that I think is maybe a little flat, is why it's, even though it's 100, it's getting hit.
Yeah.
But you have that four seam with a changeup breaking off of it. I'm telling you, that's what's going to fix it.
All right. We're pushing up on time.
Yeah. I
love the signing. We have the clip. You're probably going to look like a genius a year from now.
If I remember it.
I have Seattle winning tonight.
I have Toronto.
I have Seattle winning tonight 7-5.
I have Toronto 5-3. One of us is going to be right.
One of us is going to be
Probably.
Right. I do want to end this. Do you know what Vladdy Jr.'s OPS is for the playoff?
It's got to be at least like 1,200. 1,236.
1,532. He is hitting 462. He is 18 for 39 with 6 bombs.
Oh, no. That's insane.
Only 2 strikeouts, 6 walks, 462, OBP 532. Slug is 1,000. Operation Slug with the 1,532 OPS, 39 total bases.
You think they would accept Christian Walker for Vladdy straight up?
This is I do because I've seen a bunch of and this will be probably Wednesday's episode. I said it before the flu got me. I have this irrational fear that Paredes is moved because there's more value, and I think
I said that Friday, and everybody called me crazy.
It's not Dez thinks we should move Paredes. No, it's
just
every organization can see what we see. Christian Walker is an asset you're not going to pay for, who's on the other side of 35 and is declining. Why would I acquire that when I can, if you're going to move anyone, and the Astros could move Christian Walker, but then you're eating the salary in the Jose Abreu situation again. Fine. That means you got to suck up your pride and say, it just didn't work. We're moving it. Paredes first base. Now, if you want to go, hey, we can eat that for another year. We hope that production just stays where it's at. Maybe tricks a little up. We can actually move Paredes for value and go get a top-end arm and package it with a Bryce or package it with whoever to then go get, because there is value. Organizations will be like, oh, yeah, 26-year-old that's under club control. Like
right now, if you could trade Isaac Paredes for Edward Carrera straight up.
Yes.
Exactly. And I
I
think the Marlins might be interested in something like that.
Yes.
Like that's the kind of thing. It's like what is more valuable to you right now? Yeah. An infielder that you have to teach a new position and figure out where he's going to play, or a number 2 in your rotation. That's the value difference. It's like, as much as I don't want to do it, it just might happen. Correct me if I'm wrong, but is Brantley the only free agent who didn't fall off a cliff hitting wise?
You know what? That's a Corona. We'll tackle that one.
We're gonna break down.
That's a good question.
Free agent pass. We're gonna break down
go
free agents in general.
Free agents of Christmas pass.
Yeah, we'll break down to past free agents grades. I like that. Kind of grade how they were before they got here, and then how they performed.
Let's get under the hood. Let's see if that stank can purr.
That sounded. That was fine. It just sounded dirty. Sounded bad. But yeah. That's gonna do it.
Feeling insane route tonight, but I don't know who. Someone's getting boat race. Yeah, it does feel like that. It does feel like that. Okay. Shout out to Big City Wings, Houston's Wing Joint, Paul's Wing Joint. 14 locations, the newest one in Tuckerton. Head over to bigcitywings.com. and their socials. Give them a follow for us, please. And we partnered with Houston First Corporation to promote the WBC. It is Carnival meets Game 7. We're going to do so much content, like we said before. Hopefully get some tickets, some merch. We'll give it all away, all in Houston, 10 games. Just get ready to go. Just get ready to lock that in. Put that on your calendar. Call your boss right now. Put it in the book. All that first week of March, we're at Dyken Park.
Yep.
So that's it for today's episode. Thanks for being patient. We had AWS outages, so we're only
doing the manual outro music on my computer here. But thank you for watching and listening to Beyond Iowa Podcast. We'll be back with you Wednesday.
Peace.
See ya.
Love you guys.